All right, so the 4.5 live stream has ended, and with it, we know what the rerun banners are going to be in conjunction with the releases of Robin Samaretto and Aventurine Wave Flare. And I'm not a guy who's going to tell you I was right, but as you can see, somewhat right. So in the first half, instead of Asheville, which I thought we would get, we're actually going to be getting Hyacinth. And in the second half, we are going to be getting Asheville with Aventurine Wave Flare. So the actual value of these banners is astronomically high. Let's first go and figure out, well, so if I had to rank where I think they are, like 1 to 4 in terms of pull priority, we can look at two different factors. The first factor is somebody who doesn't have any of these characters, or we can look at the second factor of somebody who would like to vertically invest, I guess, and get the characters. So let's start with the light cones, because I think that's probably the best bet. And number one would definitely be Hyacinth's light cone. I definitely think it is the best light cone out of all of them. Number two, I would actually probably put Aventurine Wave Flare's light cone, simply because the fact that it is capable of being ran on other Elation characters, Silver Wolf level 9s, Yao Guang. Getting the speed bonus from the light cone is very, very good. Being able to provide everything that it does for, you know, the Elation path characters. Number three, I would say, is probably Asheville's. The amount of damage boosting that it does, pretty decent for hunt characters in the whole. And finally, maybe Robin Samaretto's light cone, simply because of the fact that typically remembrance characters don't, for the most part, want additional speed, which it does provide, I believe. I'm actually somewhat blanking on her light cone for some reason. Go ahead and look real quick. Max HP, yeah, wearing, entering, and then new melody, which you would not be. She grants the wearer. Okay, yeah, I mean the HP is good, but the speed that this provides and everything else that it does, I think, is very, very good, obviously, if you match up with Hyacinth. So now looking at the individual characters, what order would they be in? 1 to 4 as well, for, again, vertical investment and for getting the character right off the bat. First and foremost, if you lack a decent healing character, then Hyacinth is actually pretty good. She's not, I would say, the best healer in the game. I think that's actually Huahua. I think she does so much. You also have to keep in mind that in version 4.6 we are going to be getting Pearl, who will be a Elation sustain style character. Still don't know information about her kit, so you got to keep that in mind as well. So I would say, healing wise, you need to get Hyacinth. I know the new shiny toys are very good and they look cool, but you need to have some kind of sustainability option. After that, I would say Asheville is really good, and then Robin, and then Aventurine Wave Flare. Aventurine, I'm not putting that high, because you need to have either an Elation team or you need to have a follow-up attack team, really, for the most part, in order to get the most out of his own individual kit. He is able to generate punchline and certified banger, but you need to have multiple instances of actions on your team, and the follow-up attack team is able to supplement that for him. I'm sorry, I forget early. It's not even 6. And outside of the Elation team for the most part. But now when it comes to just pure pull value, who do I think is the most value? Again, I'm still saying it's Robin. I think Robin is the most valuable character in this patch. You know, a lot of people want to get Aventurine Wave Flare. I will most likely get him as well. I think if I win my 50-50, I have one pull until I get my 5-star. If I win my 50-50 on Robin, then I would be getting both. Otherwise, I don't know. But Aventurine is kind of an interesting discussion because of the fact that he's about, what is it, a 4 to 5% increase for Silver Wolf level 9s over Sparksy, which I kind of want to test and test his overall DPS capabilities. But again, pull value wise, Robin I definitely think is the most valuable. Then after that, I would actually say Asheville is probably more valuable, especially with the fact that you don't have a follow-up attack character, or a good one for that fact. So Asheville would be good. Then I would say Aventurine Wave Flare, because of his DPS numbers and synergy between these two characters in the second half is just ludicrous. And then Hyacinth, because of the fact that if you are somebody who's been playing for a while, A, you probably have her, and B, you probably have other sustained options who are also very good, Don Hung PT, Huahua, or even the OG Aventurine, even though he's showing his age at this current point. But I would go Robin, Asheville, very close next, Aventurine Wayfarer, and Hyacinth in terms of pull value.